Many of you have been asking me as to why I have not said anything about the Dharmasthala mystery. Well, I wanted to make sure that I had all the facts at my disposal before putting out this slide deck. What comes out is horrifying, looks like a very carefully crafted plan to try and demean Hindu culture. That's what I take it as. You can watch the entire video and then tell me what you think. Dharmasthala murder mystery is something that has been looks like carefully crafted, and the name of a current sitting Congress member of Parliament from Tamil Nadu is also being mentioned, that this guy was the man behind all this. You know, when IAS officers get into politics, this is a dangerous combination. These people are clever, they are cunning, they are smart, they know how to evade detection. And if this gentleman has been behind this whole thing, I'm afraid the truth will probably never come out. At the same time, a lot of loss of face for the Dharmasthala area, the Peetham that is there. I have the utmost of respect. See, one of the things about the area, that Sringeri, Udupi, Dharmasthala, their area, there are lots of mutts and Peethams, and they actually are doing quite well. They have good endowments, they feed people, every day there is free food, and these are things that these rascals, these scoundrels, this conversion, these racists, these terrorist leaning people are looking at to say, how do I break up the Hindu edifice? And this is what it is. And I don't know what the religion of this particular Congress MP is, but I suspect as we dig deeper, a lot of truths will come out there also. But be that as it may, you saw that in Tirupati, it is the Christian nexus trying to, burrow its way into the whole system. And here you are seeing somebody else. And the point here is that Dharmasthala is not very far from Kerala border. Remember, I've always told you that Kerala is the laboratory where they try experimentation. This could be one more experiment being played out with people from our own religion, our own community. Again, request to all of you to watch this till the end, because I have completely given you the picture here from the beginning up until now. It spans close to 15 to 20 years. And so it's not something that happened in a day, but it has been cleverly done. And right now, the MP has not opened his mouth, but why are the people pointing fingers at him? That is the bigger question. Also, it could be something rivalry between DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah, and that also is a possibility. So a lot of things at stake here. A small request to all of you to please like this video, and here we go for the slide deck.
I like the treatment here. It's very relaxing and being with the nature.
The most powerful facet that I've experienced here is the power of human touch.
Dharmasthala horror. What really happened? So for this, we need to go back a little bit. But before that, Dharmasthala is an 800-year-old pilgrimage town in Karnataka's Dakshina Kannada district, home to the Sri Manjunatha Temple dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva. It attracts close to 2,000 deities a day and is situated on the banks of Netravati river in the Beltangadi area. So what happened was, in July 2025, authorities initiated an investigation into serious allegations involving murders and mass burials in Dharmasthala. What really started out is, this is the place, and you can see the map, and this is where Dharmasthala is located, sort of like in the heart of Karnataka, if you will. And this is in hilly area. You need to go either from Hassan area, if I remember correctly, or from the other side, from the Mangaluru area. I could be wrong here, viewers, and don't kill me that, oh, I didn't even know where it is. I have not gone there, but I've heard of the place. So what is the core allegation here? The core allegation is a former sanitation worker who was working there. He claims that he was forced to bury or burn hundreds of bodies, many of them women and girls, showing signs of sexual assault, strangulation, acid burns, or violence. He also alleges witnessing murders of destitute men. Destitute men means people who are on the streets begging and they don't have a house. They sleep probably in temple chowdhury area and things of that nature. Bodies were often found without clothes or undergarments, with injuries to private parts, and some were minors in school uniform. See, if you want to try and smear an institution, this kind of stuff can be easily done. He says, after all, this guy has been working in that area for a long time, and he says that I was eyewitness to all this. But what about the people that he said instigated all these things? Let's find out some more about this whistleblower. He is a 48-year-old Dalit man, came forward after 12 years in hiding, citing overwhelming guilt. Why now? If you are guilty, you couldn't have hidden it for 12 years. I'm just basic questions that I'm asking. And look at the arrow that is being used to cause fractures in the society. This led to a public outcry, protest, and the formation of a special investigation team by the Karnataka government, ruled by the Congress government, to probe the claims. In a separate complaint filed, a local activist alleged that he had observed a burial 15 years earlier involving individuals who had similarly slipped into the river during bathing rituals. Now, the whistleblower's testimony and background needs introspection. He has been protected by the law. He had worked as a sanitation worker during the period 1995 to 2014. He emerged from hiding in a neighboring state, I wonder which that state is, and stated, I can no longer bear the burden of memories of the murders I witnessed, and is willing to undergo polygraph, brain mapping, or other tests. You know, I wrote about a similar story in my book, Who Painted My Future Bride. Those of you who have read that book, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Now, he also says that supervisors allegedly beat and threatened him to dispose of bodies. See, this is where it is. So this is the trust, the Dharmasthala's trust, that is running the whole thing. So the fingers are being pointed at them. It's as if that they were complicit in this. And he said he was called to sites near the river or elsewhere where he buried or burned corpses using diesel to eliminate traces. Now, he says there are specific incidents of burying 12 to 15-year-old girl in a school uniform in 2010 with strangulation marks on a school bag, and burning a woman's acid burned body covered in newspaper. I mean, it's gritty and if you think of what has been done, it's really, really sad. But how much of this is true? Because we are going to come to that part as this slide deck progresses. So in 2014, he fled with his family due to unbearable mental torture. To support his claims, he recently exhumed a skeleton from a burial site, submitting it and photos to the police and court via lawyers. He appeared in Beltangadi court on July 11, 2024, fully draped in black, and offered to identify 16 burial sites. 16. Now, how he has described them is 1 to 8 sites along the banks of the Netravati river, sites 9 to 12, about 4 sites beside the highway near the river, site 13 on the road connecting Netravati to Ajukuri, where he claimed to have buried 70 to 80 bodies, sites 14 to 15 in the Kanyadi area in the highway, near the highway. You know, let's say that we give the benefit of doubt to him. If all these things come out to be true, then there is something here, that there is something, a larger plan in play. But let's just move on and see what else happened. The constituted SIT examined the allegation related to mass burials in Dharmasthala. The complainant identified 16, we saw that being suspected burial sites, and what they tried to do was they went to one specific site, site 6. On July 31st, 2025, the SIT recovered partial skeletal remains including 15 bones, broken skull pieces, and 2 teeth believed to be male. These were sent for forensic analysis at the Forensic Science Laboratory in Manipal. So, are these just one skeleton? If it is just one skeleton, then what happened to number of bodies he had said was much more, right? Let's go back and look at how many bodies he said in site 6. I mean, he says there are multiple number of bodies. It's like in site 13, that would be an interesting one to look at, how many bodies actually come up. Site 6, he has not given a number. So let's just say that, okay, fine, that's what it was found. Then they went and looked at site 11. Site 13 is the one that we are looking for, guys. That is a special one. On August 4, 2025, suspected human remains, including over 100 bones, a skull, and a knotted sari, were found and sent for forensic testing. This is in site 11. So 2 sites they have looked up so far. Now excavations at sites 1 to 5, 7 to 8, 9, 10 and 12 to 15 have yielded no human remains. Now tell me this. So if there were 70 to 80 bodies buried in site 13, how come none of them exist now? And they went up to 8 feet to look at this whole thing. So in site 1, they found items like debit card and a PAN card, and it was linked to a man who died of jaundice in March 2025, unrelated to the case. So the SIT right now, he is sort of finding out that some claims may be true, but the big horrendous claims don't appear to be happening. There's no proof there. The SIT is led by DGP Pranab Mohanty and DIG MN Anuchet. They have started beginning exhumations. Exhumations is opening it and bringing out the bones on July 29, 2025 with tight security and restricted mobile use at the area. The team has collected 1995 to 2014 death records from the Dharmasthala Gram Panchayat to cross-reference claims. Forensic results are pending. Now, the preliminary findings have led investigators to suspect that the allegations may have been part of a fabricated narrative allegedly orchestrated by the whistleblower. The SIT is examining claims that this individual may be linked to a defamation campaign targeting the Hindu temple, its trusts, its priests, and the Dharmadhikari Virendra Hegde. By the way, he is a Padma awardee and he is also a nominated member of the Rajya Sabha today. The campaign is believed to be supported by anti-Hindu and anti-India groups in and outside of India. Also, viewers, I've provided you a lot of references, and some of them have speeches by Sri Virendra Hegde, and do take a look at that, because I want everybody to understand this is an attack on Hinduism, very carefully orchestrated. Now, there are past cases and there were protests also. There have been allegations of rape, murder and cover-up that date back to the 70s and to the 1980s. Key cases included in the 1986-87 rape and murder of 17-year-old Padmalata, leading to marches quashed by intimidation, the unsolved 2012 rape murder of 17-year-old Saujanya, sparking the Justice for Saujanya movement, and the 2003 disappearance of medical student Ananya Bhatt. Human rights activist and lawyer S. Balan claims hundreds of girls were abducted, raped and killed since 79, describing it as one of the India's gravest post-independence offences. But they will not be able to supply proof. The one whistleblower who claimed that he had himself done it, when you go and look at those sites, you are not finding anything. Protests by families, local groups and political organizations have been sporadic, often linking cases to mass graves and unnatural deaths. The whistleblower's revelations have prompted families to reopen cases such as Premalata's sister Indravati hoping for justice, body buried, not cremated for future probes, and Ananya Bhatt's mother Sujata filing a new complaint in July 2024 seeking her daughter's remains for funeral rites. Bhatt means, I think, it's a Brahmin family. The temple is administered by the Hegde family, with Virendra Hegde as the 21st Dharmadhikari since 1968. He is a Padma Vibhushan awardee, and he is nominated to the Parliament's upper house by the BJP in 2022 and oversees a network of institutions. Spokesperson K. Parshvanath Jain expressed support for a fair and transparent SIT investigation to uncover the truth, noting the allegations caused public confusion. Virendra Hegde denied mass murder claims, stating deaths are reported to the Panchayat and bodies are buried after due diligence. The family faced allegations in the 2012 Saujanya case, where her family claimed ties to temple leadership, but the case remains unsolved. So you take one kernel of evidence that points to somebody and you make the entire structure out of it. Now, where does the connection with the Congress MP come in? Hold on, I'll come to that in just a moment. So, the families of missing or murdered victims are motivated by the whistleblower's testimony. Sujata Bhatt, Ananya's mother, filed a complaint after media reports recalling discouragement from pursuing the case and a climate of fear. She appealed, please find my daughter's skeletal remains and allow me to perform the funeral rites with honor. Now, the local people, the BJP MLA Yashpal Suvarna, independent MLA G. Janardhan Reddy and Beltangadi BJP MLA Harish Punja accused Congress MP and former IAS officer Sasikanth Senthil of orchestrating a conspiracy to tarnish the temple's reputation. Now, I would like to examine what is this guy's religious inclination. Why suddenly you pick one guy from a neighboring state who happens to be a member of parliament and an ex-IAS officer, and why are these three pointing fingers at him? Fair question, right? I'll come to that in just a moment. Why it is they claim that the masked man, which is the whistleblower, acted at Senthil's behest, scripted in Tamil Nadu after his IAS resignation. So there is some relationship between what he did as an IAS officer and then what happened after that. Let's take a look at where he was posted. He was a former Dakshina Kannada deputy commissioner. He quit IAS in protest against Article 370 abrogation and CAA, joined Congress in 2020 and was elected MP from Tiruvallur in 2024. Really, people who are watching this thing, please do some research and let me know what is his religious inclination. Could be a crypto-Christian. The name suggests he's Hindu, but I have my doubts. And he's accused of corruption, of sand mining lobbies, spiked prices from 3,000 to 14,000, favoring leftist Islamist groups like the PFI, SDPI, leveraging networks during his tenure. It's even possible that he could have been close to being fired, and that's why he used this Article 370 as a pretext and quit. But then suddenly the Congress is all gaga over him. He gives him a seat and the guy wins from Tamil Nadu. I mean, the story is real, fairy tale. Accusers reference Deputy CM D.K. Shivkumar's remark on a larger conspiracy and question if the SIT will probe Senthil due to his proximity to the Chief Minister. So within the Karnataka politics now you see some intriguing scenes. D.K. Shivkumar says this man Senthil is close to Siddaramaiah, therefore it is a crafted campaign by the Siddaramaiah gang. So what he wants to do is he wants to attack his pound of flesh, his brownie points, to try and present to the first family that, look, I am more qualified to lead Karnataka. That is the story that has been going on for a while. Now, the thing is, people are calling for the resignation of Siddaramaiah, and this has been going on for a while. Who knows if it is internal, it is actually organic, meaning groundswell, people feel Siddaramaiah is not doing a good job, or is it something that DKS is stirring it up? So the political accusations against Senthil for allegedly orchestrating a conspiracy to defame the temple add a layer of complexity reflecting regional political tension. And this rascal has not opened his mouth. Senthil has not opened his mouth so far as I could tell. So why is he just hiding in plain sight? Do you know how hard it is to win an MP seat? Ask Annamalai. He came within touching distance, only to be completely, have the rug pulled from under his feet when ADMK completely threw in the towel 7 days before the election. Of course, there are other things also that happened. But he tried very hard. He campaigned over the whole state and he still could not win. And this guy just coolly walks in. Have you seen one speech of Senthil? One political speech. How the hell did he just suddenly become an MP? So a lot of questions here. I mean, these people who are talking about vote chori, we have to look at what kind of chori they themselves did. Okay, conclusion, human remains found only at 2 suspected burial sites and they are under forensic analysis, and the investigation has revived unresolved cases from the past, and we have to wait and see if there's a DNA match, because survivors can give their DNA. Today's technology will allow you to test the DNA and then say, okay, there is a match or there is no match. As the SIT probe continues, the case hinges on forensic results and the whistleblower's protected testimony, which could either confirm a horrific, decades-long crime or reshape the narrative around Dharmasthala's legacy. I am very clear, viewers. Anytime any Hindu preacher starts becoming popular, these kinds of ambush tactics are being taken. TMK is past master at this, and I have been telling you for a long time that the intelligence in Tamil Nadu is being run by one community, and these people are doing a very, very efficient job of making sure that a certain community is raised up and a certain community is raised down. You don't have to know who I am talking about, what communities I am talking about. You can fill in the blanks. This is a big, big concern. And why is this man keeping quiet, Senthil? And what is his religion? And what is his motivation for doing all this? This is deep planning. I mean, are there many more plans like this? The other one is the Udupi Mutt in Udupi, and then there is the Sringeri Mutt, Shankara Sringeri Mutt. These are also bodies which attract probably even more people a day, and everybody gets fed. I mean, if the fare, 14, 15 dishes, I mean, you just can't. I mean, you have to starve for a day and go and eat there. That's the amount of food that they give you. It's just sumptuous. And the place is so beautiful, green, and very, very, godly, if you ask me. The whole area is beautiful and pious, and someone wants to completely bring down the curtain here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Many of you may not agree with what I'm saying, but read the facts and then please comment. Let's make this a respectable platform. Don't just come and abuse me here. I don't care for your abuses. I mean, it doesn't matter really. What I am saying is we have done this research for close to a couple of weeks now to try and get all the angles in, and this is where we stand. Like I said, there is a conspiracy according to me, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong. Thank you and namaskar.